let's stick with you because you have some news and notes for us today. Some big names could be coming back today for the Vols. We also have a long list of players who are not dressing out today.
Yes, the Vols travel roster is the SEC travel roster limit of 74 players. And as you look at the list of players who will not be in uniform today, some not surprising. Cornerbacks Ricky Gibson and Jermod McCoy have been out. They remain out. Defensive lineman David Hobbs remains out at this point. Hopefully he's back after the bye. Wide receiver Radarius Jackson, Tennessee's number 5 wide receiver overall, out as well. But the new ones that really stand out, tight end Ethan Davis not able to play. Tight end Cole Harrison not on the travel roster. So today, Tennessee is going to go with 3 tight ends, Miles Kitzelman, and then 2 freshmen, Desan Brame and also Jack Van Doorslayer. Defensive end Marion Dye, the freshman from Elkhart, Indiana, is not on the trip due to injury. And the Vols will also be without freshman running back kick returner Dewan Morris, meaning that if they go to a 4th back today, it'll be Rashad Baker. But you mentioned the returnees, and that's a big factor for the Vols, in particular in the defensive line. Jaxson Moi is back. That's huge. Tyree West is back. Big lift for Tennessee. The other thing that really stands out to me today, David Sanders is here. The ballyhooed freshman seems to have regained strength in his upper body and his shoulder that was bothering him. And the thought process is we will see him some in the offensive line at right tackle at some point in this game. Obviously, the other 5 starters have been in for each of the first 4 games. They're going to go again as the starting unit, but we'll see David Sanders, we think, sub in at some point today.
What does that mean? This offensive line has been very effective this year. So how does this, now introducing a true freshman on the road at a big SEC matchup, what does this do for the offensive line?
I think Mike's right. I mean, having him work into that starting lineup is probably the best way, especially being on the road, being in a hostile environment. The communication is key, but to be able to have him, sub in, get 30 snaps would be great. To be able to get him 20 to 30 snaps this game, I think it would be a real positive for his introduction to the SEC.
Yeah, some questions if the Vols were going to hold off on putting him back into the lineup, of course, given the off week next week. So you think this is a good move to get him warmed up?
I think so. And, I guess, that's really up to the doctors and training staff and coaches and to the player himself. Do you feel ready? Oftentimes you'll ask the player, and what are they going to say? Coach, I'm ready to go. Yep. But I think it's taking his time, allow him to get in the game. Now, there may be a chance if we're going and we're playing exceptionally well at the offensive line, those numbers may go down to 15 to 10 snaps the game to give him then another 2 weeks to recover because we'll have a bye next week.
You excited to see some of those names come back on defense? Yeah.
Having
Jaxson
Moi come back is incredible. I mean, we've needed someone. We've needed some depth in that defensive front to give our guys some rest. Depth helps, but his leadership and his ability as a playmaker is going to be big, especially the way they want to. They've got a great quarterback, how they're going to run the ball. They're a very balanced offense. Having him in the game could be a difference maker tonight.
Oh, I think it's totally true because he's a stirred-up guy. And that's what Tennessee needs from their interior defensive line. They need somebody who can get penetration on the run plays and can get pressure coming up the middle when you're talking about pass rush. This is what he does well. Jaxson Moi is that guy. Like David Sanders, though, I wonder how many plays he can play today. If you could get 20 good snaps out of Jaxson Moi, you'd probably be elated. After the first couple games, we were seeing way too many snaps for Bryson Eason and Dom Bailey. They only played 20 snaps last week in the win over UAB, so they should be fresh. But as I mentioned, it's getting hot out here. Remember, Tennessee will be in all orange today because this is Mississippi State's whiteout. Turns out that was a pretty good decision with it being an afternoon game. And so you're going to want to keep guys fresh in the best way possible. Obviously, if you have depth at positions, keeping guys fresh is much easier to do.
Yeah, a lot of fans really excited to see those guys back on the field. Mike, thanks. All right, let's talk.